You're watching Magic Academy, and I'm Celestial Petals. Today, we're going to begin your crystal journey. Stay tuned. Okay, so welcome back. Please remember to like and subscribe so you can stay tuned to this series. This will be a crystal series. We are going to be covering, so much about crystals. In this first video alone, we're going to hit, a lot of things that attract us to crystals, their meanings, and, some great information about crystals, and we're just going to go on from there. So if you are a beginner and you're trying to start your crystal collection, or you have a small crystal collection or any kind, or you work with crystals in an advanced way, this could be very interesting to you and very helpful. So let's get started. In this video, I'm going to share with you 3 things that attract us to crystals: color, sparkle or light, and shape. Okay, so first let's answer where crystals come from. Crystals are naturally formed within the earth over spans of hundreds and thousands of years, even millions of years. Crystals can be also created in a laboratory by man. And they can also be a combination of the two. So you can have a natural crystal that is lab treated, and therefore it becomes a natural lab treated crystal. Lab treatments are done for enhancements to hardness, color, shape, and all sorts of things. Natural crystals are dug from the ground or even caves. Some crystals only occur in one particular place on Earth, and others are very plenteous, and you can find them pretty much anywhere on the face of the Earth. So color. Okay, so color is pretty much, why are we attracted to color in crystals? If you know anything about color therapy or, the meanings of colors and the correspondences of colors, those are some of the reasons why. But it can go much deeper than that. So I'm going to explain color for you and how it plays into crystals, in my opinion. Okay, so it starts off with white light. And white color is the combination of all colors. Is white a color? Well, color is a reflection of light, which is electromagnetic waves of light. And NASA says this about light waves that are electromagnetic waves. Visual light waves are the only electromagnetic waves that we can see. We see these waves as the colors of a rainbow. Each color has a different wavelength. Red has the longest wavelength, while violet has the shortest wavelength. When all of the waves are seen together, they make white light. So when white light shines through a prism, the white light is broken apart, and then we see all the waves. And we see the complete spectrum of a rainbow. Water vapor in the atmosphere can also break apart wavelengths, creating a rainbow. White is the reflection of all the colors of a rainbow. So I will leave a link to that in the description below. Color is the reflection of light, therefore. When we look at color, we are also seeing light. If you work with color in your artwork, like Photoshop or crafting or any kind of artwork at all, or just in therapies because you enjoy color, then you'll know that there are 3 primary colors that all colors are made up from. And this would be red, yellow, and blue. From these 3 colors, all the colors of the rainbow are made. So those are called primary colors, those first 3. Then we have what are called secondary colors. Secondary colors are when you mix 2 of any of the primary colors together. For instance, red and yellow equal orange, red and blue equal purple, yellow and blue equal green. So you have orange, purple, and green that are called secondary colors. So what happens when we mix a secondary color with a primary? Well, we get something called a tertiary color, tertiary color. And in other words, red and orange equal vermilion. Orange and yellow equal amber. Yellow and green equal chartreuse. Green and blue equal teal. And blue and purple equal violet. And purple and red equal magenta. So, what about black? Is black a color? Well, black absorbs color and reflects nothing back. It doesn't reflect any light back. It doesn't reflect any color back, but it does reflect some light back, a little bit. This is why often black colors will be named along with the base color, like brown black or green black. And oftentimes when you put a bleach, or you apply white, well, white will make it gray. But if you add a bleach to it, then, or water to black, watercoloring, sometimes you'll see that base color come out. You'll see a lot more of the green or whatever color was like the strongest, largest amount in that color of black. Okay, so now that you know this, I can explain that colors we see are made up of these combinations of colors and light waves. Okay, so when you see pink, you are seeing the reflected color, and other colors that make up this color are absorbed and not reflected. So when you see green, you know they're the combination of colors of primaries that make up that color. It's the primaries that are absorbed that you don't see, and they reflect the green that you do see. But all those colors exist in that reflection or in that object. So when you see a green crystal, you are using 3 colors: blue, yellow, and green. Okay. So color is a reflection of light, and light is energy. Light is electromagnetic waves that we can see. They are energy. So light is a reflection of spirit, of energy, the power of spirit. And crystals help house those energies with its personal meanings and definitions when we call on our spirit in life. So crystals are light tools. And what is it about light that fascinates us in our magical or mystical or esoteric beliefs, or anybody? Well, light transcends realms. It will transcend from the higher realms all the way down to our mundane realm here in the physical world. If you are calling on a deity, an angel, or a spirit guide, light happens in an instant, in a twinkling of a crystal. It can go from one realm to another automatically. And spirit loves light. So, you will find that you are drawn to a color of a crystal, and you may not know it, when you have need of those properties and meanings in your life. For example, rose quartz is a very healing crystal. And you may find, like, if you're going through family crisis, personal self-esteem issues, or physical illness, okay, you may find that rose quartz comes along to help heal you in those areas. It's very self-healing, and it helps you with self-acceptance and self-love. It's a very strong crystal, but it works very gently. Okay, so just like amethyst is one of those crystals that I think a lot of us are drawn to because it helps us with our addictions and things that we can't overcome that overcome us, our habits. Okay, it helps us overcome habits that aren't good for us. So if you're, a drinker, a smoker, or somebody that just maybe you don't keep a good schedule, you've got habits that aren't helping your life, amethyst will come along and help you in those areas and straighten you out. It really will. Does it matter if a crystal is completely natural or man-created or lab-treated? Doesn't matter at all. Any of that will play into the light of the crystal and its energy. So, all of its elements, all of its ingredients, and all of what it has gone through in its creation to get to you, all of that process will play into its meanings and empowerment for your life. Okay, let's get into the fun part. Yay! We're going to get into shape, the shapes of crystals. So we've covered color, we've covered light, and now we're going to cover shapes. Okay, so I'm going to show you all of these shapes, okay? Okay, so there's two things about shapes that we consider when we're working with crystals. An advanced thing to consider is the DNA structure of a crystal, which is its sacred geometry, okay? That's advanced. We will cover that in a later video at some point, but right now we're going to cover, the shape of a crystal as it sits before you, what it looks like in front when you are looking at a crystal, the shape of a crystal, the exterior form of a crystal. So we're going to start with natural stones, natural raw stones. So a natural raw stone is a stone, just without any shape, without any form shape, just like a nice bizarre clump of rock. Okay, like here's one right here. This is citrine. And you can see the rough exterior of this citrine. Here is a black tourmaline. And it's in its raw form. And some raw forms actually are already kind of smooth looking, like this turquoise. There we go. Okay, so those are some natural shapes, some rough shapes. What does that shape do to help you? What does that energy of that shape help you with? Well, in that raw shape, it has edges on it. It's rough, it's just how it is, just out there. It hasn't concealed anything. It's just raw and it's just what it is. So where did I put that? Okay, so the roughness of a crystal can help you with strength, not worrying about what others care or think about you, okay, helping you to uphold your natural self in situations, and accepting yourself as, even the raw self as a quality. They can bring a stronger energy, a sharper energy to help work with things that you may need help with right now. And then there are tumbled stones. So tumbled stones have been placed in a barrel. You take this crystal and you place it in a barrel with other crystals, and then you put in like smaller gravels, okay? And then it just turns. You put a lid on it and it just turns and turns and turns until the crystal comes out smooth, like this one. And this is a tumbled stone. There are no rough edges, and oftentimes after it's been tumbled, it'll be taken out and taken to a polishing wheel and polished as well to give it an extra shine on the surface. Okay, so what does that process help you with? Tumbled stones can give you a gentler energy. They can teach you refinement. They can also teach you how to have a soft touch when maybe naturally and instinctively you are very abrupt. So they can teach you how to be gentle and do things in a gentle way. Since they've gone through the tumbling process and come out spectacular, they can teach you how to handle things when you're going through a rough time, showing us how to weather a process, so we too can come out of the process just as spectacular and, shiny and smooth and benefit from it. Okay, And then there are man-shaped. I'm going to go over a lot more natural shapes, but I'm going to touch base on some man shapes right now. So some man-shaped crystals, like eggs, you know, like if it's been shaped into an egg or a natural shape. Sometimes it'll be hearts, like this one. I hope I can hold these steady enough to where it gets a good image for you. So a nice heart. Okay, this is man-shaped. That was a clear quartz. This is a selenite. What are some other man shapes? Oh, maybe it's like in the shape of a deity or something mythical, like this seashell. I don't think this shows up too well. It's kind of small. But we'll try it. That is of Cupid. Okay, and that brings the meanings of the mythological character or deity to your life and workings. Or maybe you can find organites, okay, which are created with a whole bunch of crystals and materials poured into a shape, surrounded by a man-made material, like this organite, which has amethyst, lapis, copper, lots and lots of things in there. And it's in the shape of a heart. Okay, so those are some man-made things. Maybe it will be like a wand that has been carved in the shape of a mythical being or something. So it has a spiral on it, it has a point, it has a softer round edge, and it is fashioned after a unicorn's horn. So it brings all those kind of meanings into your working. Okay, so those are some man-made crystals right there. Oh, here's one. This one is man-made to be reflective. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but it's a black crystal, so it absorbs light, but it has glitter inside of it, which makes it really sparkly. Can you see that? This is a purple one. This is a purple sandstone. So it's gone through a tumbling process, but it's a man-created, therefore man-shaped crystal. Okay, so let's go back to some natural shapes. Okay, natural shapes. We have, okay, so first we're going to talk about points. Not, you know, when a crystal has a point on it, that's called a termination. But if it's just the point, it doesn't have a body to it, it's just a point, like this one. Okay. Or more appropriately, probably, is, where are they? I moved them just a second ago. Nope. Purple, 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 there we go. Like this one. This is a point. It's an amethyst point. Okay. Points are receptors. They receive energy, but they can also be transmitters, because any kind of point you can take and you can direct energy with it like a wand. Okay. But it will also receive energy. So those are some points. Then there's something called a double termination point. So that's a crystal with two terminations on it, or 2 points. Oh, okay. So a point is called a termination. All the sides meet to the center. They're terminated into a point, and it'll usually be 4 to 6-sided. The most common is 6-sided, but there are 4-sided points. Okay. Sorry about that. And then you have a double terminated crystal, which has points on both ends. And this one also has another shape on it, because it narrows down into one end. So it narrows like a triangle. One end is thinner than the other. And a double terminated point, energy flows both ways in this crystal. With one end being larger, it emphasizes its ability to clear energy. So you can send energy, transmit energy, okay, with this crystal, and you can also receive energy. So like when you're doing healing work with a double terminated crystal, you can send out that healing energy, and then when your healing energy returns back to you, it comes through the crystal, is held in the larger end, okay, it's held in the larger end, and then is cleansed and cleared, and then returns back to you. Okay. So that's a double. Oh, and then there's little ones, which like Herkimers. Try to get you guys to see this one. It's really little. Okay. I think you can see it right here. There we go. Can you see how it's double terminated? This is a Herkimer diamond. Okay. And then go back to those in a second. There are other points that have longer bases to them that sit on a base, okay? Like a base crystal, which is actually called a tower that comes to a point. These towers can be like 1 inch and even go all the way up to like, feet tall, really huge. And they basically stand like that, and they receive energy. But when you use them in your hand, you can transmit energy with them, like a wand. Okay, so those are wands and towers. Okay, so the shape of a wand and a tower will be six-sided, usually, but it will have sides to it. Okay. Hopefully that shows up really good for you. Okay. Okay, so then we have something called a tabular crystal. Now I'm going to show it to you upside down because it also has another formation on the other end that I want to show you later. So this is a tabular crystal. So when looking at it, you think, oh my gosh, that's just a chunk of crystal. But it's not. What it is it's a six-sided crystal, okay, that has a front and a back that are wider than the rest of the crystals. So it'll have two sides here, and the front and the back one will be extremely wide. So it's like a doorway. Really great for doorway magic. Can you see that? Okay. And that's called a tabular crystal. So they're used as doorways, they increase energy flow, they remove resistance and roadblocks, and they will activate other crystals. Then there's something called a cathedral crystal. Now a cathedral crystal is like points, okay, where you have one large point, but with other points around it that are also points, okay? Like, well, kind of like this one. Can you see that one? This has clusters around it, but right here it has one and another 2 points growing together right here. And that's called a cathedral. Here's one. You can see the cathedrals here. They're all triangles. Okay. And cathedrals are, basically, energy libraries, light libraries. They hold all the history of the earth, and they access Akashic records. And they show up every couple thousand years to help assist the earth in transformations and elevate consciousness, bringing a higher understanding. So, sometimes over time, we go from like a really knowledgeable era to a not so knowledgeable era, and these crystals will reappear and resurface their importance and grab our attention when we need to wake up our conscious level again. So they're awesome crystals. And then there's something called an elasteel crystal. For that name, I just pretty much try to remember it by going everlasting, celestial, cathedral, cluster, because that's what it is. And this tabular crystal on the other end is exactly that. Okay? So it has terminations, towers, that are grouped together over a crystal. Okay? Like a grand community. These are great for protection, wisdom, higher authority, like the Hierophant card, okay, higher authority. They help you overcome burdens. They're great for journeying into your past life, and they bring out a lot of truth about your past lives, okay, because these are libraries. They work well with karma and spirit process and help you with life cycles, your entire life cycles, okay? They will oftentimes have lines or ridges on them that go across this way. You might not be able to see that. Like a Lemurian that you can rub to help access the records and the information and the wisdom and knowledge. Fantastic little crystal. Okay, then there's something called a scepter. Now, a scepter looks a lot like a point, but it looks like, somebody's like it's shaped a lot like, I don't have one, so I'm just going to explain it to you. It looks a lot like this. It'll have a bigger piece at the top, and it'll look like it has a handle on it like a scepter. And what it is it's a crystal where a point has decided to grow on the top of it. Okay, it grew into a point anyway, but a point has grown over just the top of it. So it's like you've got a scepter with this thing. It's really cool. And scepters are great for channeling energies and helping you with graces, okay, on a master level. Really awesome crystals. Leadership, totally awesome for leadership. And then there's something called a reverse scepter. Now, I've tried a million times to get this thing to show up in the camera. It does not show up very well. So I'm going to try it again, and we'll see how. I think I have to get really close so you can see it. Because what it is, this is a Herkimer diamond, okay? And it's a Herkimer with a double, put together like a twin. But it's not called a twin. This is called something else, because twins grow side by side. Then, on the very tips and the ends of it, it has smaller points. And that's called a reverse scepter because the handle isn't smaller. The handle is larger than the point growing off of the top of it. Okay? So I'll try to show that to you. Hope that worked. And it has it on both ends. Okay. You have to let me know. So that's a reverse scepter. Those are great for linking into wisdom, knowledge, any of higher wisdom at all. And they transmit energy, so they're transmitters, but they also work like a double, like this as well. They kind of work like two put together, you know what I'm saying? So they're really good for holding up energy, for grabbing it, holding on to it, analyzing it, and then clearing it and releasing it as you want to manifest it. Really good for that. So they're really good for like bringing in wisdom. If you're doing dream magic, that kind of a crystal is fascinating to work with. Okay, so there we go. Soulmate. Did I cover clusters yet? Okay, we'll do a soulmate because that's like a point, put together like a twin put together a wand. Okay, so soulmate, you've got a twin. Here's a twin. Okay. They grow side by side. This is a fairy quartz twin, so it has clusters all the way around it, like points. Not drusies, not just little clusters of something, shiny. These are actual little points that are growing, thousands of them growing all around it. So this is a fairy quartz, but there's two of them growing together. It's a twin. Oh, I guess that kind of looks like one. I don't know. This might be, as a matter of fact, but I don't think so. A scepter will look like a regular scepter, not a reverse, but a regular one will kind of look like this. You'll just see this handle at the bottom and the point on the top of it. But this is a twin. Okay? My allergies. Excuse me. Sorry. I left this stuff out. It's getting kind of dusty. Okay. I've been working on this for a couple of days. It's taken me a while to get it written up right and done right. And I've recorded it twice already. This is number 3. I want it to be great for you guys. Okay, so that's a twin. And then, where is it? Then there's something called a soulmate. A soulmate is like a twin. Where did I put you? Here it is. It kind of looks like a couple. Okay, you'll find that sometimes they're almost the same size as that. That can be, a soulmate. But oftentimes it'll look like, like you fit together. Like they're spooning almost, or right side by side. Okay, and this one has a bridge. A bridge is something that grows across it, like a bridge. But this is the soulmate, the twin soulmate, on a fairy quartz. I'm getting that on there for you guys. I'm sorry if not. Okay. And soulmates do just that. They help you find your soulmate. But not only will they help you manifest your soulmate into your life, if your soulmate has not manifested themselves in your life yet, one thing they will do, is help with that dysfunction that you're experiencing without your soulmate. So if you're going along and your soulmate just hasn't arrived in your cycle of life yet, and, you're not benefiting very well from it, you're just feeling like, you're you've got a flat tire and you're driving along, it comes along and stands in the gap, repairs that flat tire for you, does what your soulmate would do for you. Okay, helps you with harmony and balance. Okay, so then there are clusters. Clusters are points grouped together in clusters. So you've already seen a couple of kinds of clusters, like on this twin, it's a cluster of points with this fairy quartz. But clusters are usually something like this. Gobs of crystals usually going in many different directions, all on one piece. So this is a fairy quartz cluster. Here's another one. It's beautiful. You guys are going to love this one. It's an amethyst. Okay. I'm trying to catch some light on it so it twinkles for you. I don't think it is. I'm trying to. Oh, some other wands. Wands can also be little. Before we move on, I'm backtracking just a little. Sorry about that. Wands can be small. Here's a clear quartz wand, and here is a smoky quartz. Okay? And it doesn't matter how big they are. These can be extremely powerful and do wonderful, wonderful magic for you. Excellent energy. Oops, I don't want to forget that one. Clusters. Okay, then there's these kind of clusters that, so you can see the quartz going in many, many different directions. Okay, and these kind have a larger piece with smaller ones growing all around it. There's one, there's two, and here's three. These ones are called abundance clusters or quartz because they have that abundant large one and they bring wealth to you. Or abundance, whether it's knowledge or whatever it is. It brings you abundance. Wonderful little crystals. I love clusters. Love them. We didn't talk about spheres. We'll do that last, if I can remember it. Okay, then you have self-healing quartz. I don't have any to show you. I have one, but it has another name. I was going to show that one to you second. So here we go. A self-healing quartz is a quartz that has been broken down the center or broken somewhere, whether it's on the end or wherever, and it has self-healed. It's not remained broken. Like this one has remained broken at the bottom. Okay? So self-healing quartz have started growth again. They've healed themselves. It's not another crystal growing on it. That crystal has continued its growth and grown over that damaged area. This one, if you can see it, do you see how it's kind of bent this way to this side from like right here? This is called a bent old man. Okay? And he brings all the knowledge of an old man. Okay, so let's go over spheres. Spheres can be man-created or natural. Okay? Some spheres have many different things on the surface, like etchings on the surface. These have lots of little triangles all over them and will reflect lots of colors of light. This will bend white light into the colors of a rainbow, like a prism. Awesome crystal. So you get all the colors of a rainbow with this one. And here is a natural rose quartz, which is pink, shaped into a sphere. This is an obsidian, which is black. Okay, so we know this absorbs light. Very protecting, helps clear energy, absorbs bad energy. And then we have man-made crystals that are spheres that do just as much work. These are vibrant colors, and being spheres, they bring all the wisdom of the earth. Okay, like the full moon, the same correspondences of the full moon, abundance, wealth, and they're great for scrying and divination. So there are also natural spheres. Natural spheres don't always look extremely spherical, kind of lumpy, like these river eggs. Okay, this is a smoky quartz. And, you know, it's just a stone, kind of spherical, kind of like that. And the top's been cut open so that we can see inside. And it makes a nice table or window or door. Okay. And these are great for scrying and, you know, uses like a crystal ball as well. They can also be a little house for your fairy spirits or your spirit guides, or the spirit energy of the rock. Okay. And they can bring you wisdom of the past for the earth knowledge, history knowledge that we need to know, just like record, not completely like record keepers, but kind of like that. That kind of library, that kind of wisdom, and they can really help us out. Good for truth finding. And what else can I tell you about these? They're just great to work with. The energy on these are just a nice little vibration. All I can say is when I hold my hand over one, I feel the vibration like this. They're just constantly going. Happy little river stones. They're great. Okay, so I think I've showed you everything. Let me look around and see if there's anything else that I can show you that I haven't shown you. Okay, so there's also natural shapes within a crystal, which we didn't cover because I didn't have it written down, which is kind of like the shape inside of this banded or chevron amethyst. Try that again. Okay. Or this black moonstone that has a feather in it. These are natural shapes within a crystal. Or this one, which is also man-made and natural, because it's been man-shaped, but it has natural shapes in it. Or you can get sacred geometry shapes, kind of like these. There's plenty of more. This is natural. This is a fluorite. Sorry about that. Octahedron. It's a sacred geometry shape. It looks like two pyramids put together. And it is a natural shape. But you can also get fluorite like this. Okay, and like I said, we'll go into how these energies work later. That's a sacred geometry shape. Okay, I hope you guys like this video. That is everything. Please like and subscribe and stay tuned for more of this crystal series. Blessed be. Happy light working.